Alright, this is a video of my 2006 Nissan Frontier under the hood. This is for anybody who has one. This is a 4-liter V6, and I recently changed the spark plugs on this, and it was a bit tricky after the fourth one. The first two we can get easy right here. Just pull those out, put the new ones in. Same thing on this side. The fourth one was tricky, but then we took this ring off right here that connects to the air intake system. We took the whole thing out: engine cover, intake, throttle body, everything. We had to take the whole thing off to get to the other two, and this is going to save you a lot of money versus going to the dealership and doing, because they're going to rail you for the cost. Total time was probably 2 hours after everything else, but I did clean the inside. The only problem I had was after we put everything together. I mean, it sounded so throaty, but I did put the nice laser platinum ones in, and they already had about 75,000 miles on it, because the truck's only got about 78,000 on it. The only problem that we've been having with this is that it's out of whack, and I think it's the throttle body. I have to drive it probably a good 50 miles on the highway, about 75-80 miles an hour, until the service engine light comes off. And I think it has something to do with this, the throttle body, because we did take it out, took the wires out, everything else, we rewired it and everything. So I think it is the throttle body, because I stepped on the gas. I almost floored it one night, and this has a manual, 6-speed manual in it, and I stepped on it, and it was about a second and a half delay. There was some power, and then woof, instant power. And so again, I think it's the delayed reaction from the throttle body, but I have an appointment soon, so they're going to take a look at it at the dealership. But I would recommend getting those laser platinums. I mean, they are expensive, but they're going to last you for at least 100,000 miles. So they're very good. But I do plan, I'll go over what I plan on doing with the truck. I plan on putting a K&N intake system. I'm not sure about the 75 or the 77 series. I've seen videos on both. They sound very good. And then I can't make up my mind whether to put the Banks Monster exhaust in here or the MagnaFlow exhaust. The Banks is cheaper. This is the stock exhaust. It's already got a nice bark to it, but you know, it could be louder. And I've seen videos of it on YouTube where, you know, they're doing their exhaust, and it sounds amazing. I love the sound of it. But and then I plan, here's another thing I'm torn on. I don't know, I can't make up my mind whether I want to do the Ready lift, the SST hybrid lift. It's 2.5 in the front and 1.5 inches in the rear. And then there's also a FabTech 6-inch, and I've seen some pictures of that, and it looks really good. But I was reading on Frontier forums that they're only getting about 13 miles a gallon. And with the lovely new gas prices coming out for summer, I don't think I want to have that for a 6-inch. But I know with the Ready lift I can fit a 33, and with the FabTech I can fit a 35. But those are my plans really for the outside. Comments, suggestions would be greatly appreciated. But yes, it was pretty easy to do that. No real hard troubles, but you know, again, you have to take all this out and everything else to get to the next remaining 2 spark plugs in the front part of the engine. So, and again, the thing that just amazes me about, you know, I've always loved Nissan, and I finally really, this truck is the icing on the cake in my love for Nissan. It just blows my mind that the computer in here is recalibrating everything, you know, after we put the new spark plug and everything else in. So I have to give a hand down to, you know, Nissan. I mean, I love American vehicles. It just kills me that they're not, you know, to this build quality that this truck has. I mean, this thing protected my dad in a collision in Boise, Idaho, with a concrete barrier, and it, you know, he walked away. So I mean, it is a tank. It is kind of small. I mean, it could be bigger. Like, I like the Titan or the new EcoBoost F-150. I love that. That, you know, it's a smaller engine than this, and it can out tow it by 4,000 pounds, I think. But it's a decent sized back seat. I mean, my knees aren't touching, and I'm 6'1". So I mean, it's close. It's real close, but it does have very nice room in it. It's a very great truck. Probably well, yeah, hands down, it is the best one we've owned so far. And I will give it to Ford. I used to have a Ford Ranger. It was a 96. It had 150,000 miles on it. And I got bored one day after school and decided to drive it into a meteor crater because there was a racetrack at the bottom. And it took me 3 tow trucks to get me out, and it was still fine. The alignment was still straight, and it kept on driving. And that's pretty much the same thing with this. I mean, you know, it's a fantastic truck. I love it. I will say, you know, and I know this is kind of, you know, nitpicky, but I saw a Toyota Tacoma one day, and I'm not trying to bash Toyota here, but these right here are aluminum. These rails, the Utilitrack system, I think is what Nissan calls it. And it goes along that back part up against the cab. It goes on the sides, and then it's got these on the bottom here. So you can tie it down like a dirt bike or anything. And it comes with, I have them on the inside of the truck because someone tried to steal them, but they had the same aluminum cleats that slide here. And I looked at a Toyota Tacoma one day, and they're plastic. And I don't know if it's reinforced with a small sheet of metal or steel on the inside. But when I see plastic like that, you know, it makes me think, you know, they really don't care if your load flies out or not. So, and this is a factory belt liner too, a spray-on. So, you know, they really did think of everything. I get okay gas mileage in the city. This is Southern California. Big change from Idaho. I miss it. We're getting probably, I think, 350 miles out of a tank, and we have a 20-gallon tank. That's not great, but I mean, this truck does weigh over 4,000 pounds. I mean, it's all steel, so it's a very tough truck. But once you get on the highway, though, because like this is a 6-speed manual, and you get it up to speed, and you know, around 75, 80 miles an hour, you drop it in the 6th gear, and your RPM needle goes from like 3,000 to below 2,000. So it's very good in that. You know, again, it's a very, I mean, the only problem that I have a couple problems with this truck. One of them is the 4-wheel drive system, and I looked at the new ones, and they still have it, even in the Titan. And I wish Nissan would change it, but it's an ancient system. Like Ford, GMC, I think Toyota has it, I think. They might not, but this is, like when I engage it in 4 high or 4 low, I still need to put it in the neutral, put it in 2-wheel drive, back up, go forward, back up, go forward until the 4-wheel drive light over there goes off. So that is one of the problems that I do have with this truck. But you know, it's rugged simplicity. That's what I mean. It's a typical Nissan interior, plastics everywhere, but it does the job. The other thing is, I love the paint finish. It's great, but it's very thin. Like, these are all rock marks from Idaho, because they're in the winter. They use sand instead of salt, which is great, but out there everybody has huge lifted trucks with, you know, 37-inch mud terrains, and they spit these rocks all over your hood. Like, we've gone through 4 windshields on this truck in 4 years, and that's pretty average over there. But